Hello everyone, this is Raj here. Welcome to the world of Salesforce. Today is day 13 class where we are going to discuss relationships in the Salesforce. Where we are going to discuss relationships in Salesforce. Okay, so what is a relation here? Relationship. So what we understand about relationships? So the bondage, or we can say that connection between two or more objects, right? The link, the connection, the bondage between two or more objects. It may be between standard to standard, right? Custom to custom, custom objects to custom objects, or in between standard objects to the custom objects, right? So we are going to create a link between two or more objects. So in order to create any relationships, there should be one parent and one child, right? In order to create any relationship, there should be one parent and one child. So here the object one should be the parent and object two should be the child, right? So a relationship always should start creating on a child object, connecting with the parent, right? It should start creating a relationship in the child object with connecting with the parent. So what are the types of relationships that are available in the Salesforce, right? What are the types of relationships we are having here? So the first one is one to one, or we can say that self relationship. Self relationship means a best example is your bank records, right? Where the customer ID is connected to you itself, right? So it's the best example by connecting your ID to, right, to your record. So the second one is one to many, which is important here. One to many relationships. That means one parent can have number of childs. One parent can have number of childs. So the best example is here. So let me take doctor as object, one object, and let me take patient as another object. Right? One to many relationships. So one doctor can treat number of patients, right? One doctor can treat patient one doctor can treat patient two, one doctor can treat patient three. A doctor can have number of patients, right? So patients are child. Doctor is a patient. We have to identify what is the parent and what is the child here, right? So for example, we need to create a relationship between account and contact. So an account can have multiple contacts. So account is the parent and contact is the child. So this is the way one to many relationships will work here, right? And one more is many to many relationships. Many to many relationships. What is here many to many relationships? So let me tell you with an example. So one doctor can treat number of patients, right? P1, P2, P3 like this. That means one to many we are having. And one patient can go to number of doctors also, right? So patient one can go to doctor one or doctor two or doctor three, right? So depend upon patient disease, many doctors can treat. So one doctor can treat number of patients, one patient can go to number of doctors. But in Salesforce, it is not possible, which is not possible here. So how can we are going to resolve this? Salesforce cannot. So here you can observe in this is acting as a one to many. One doctor can have number of patients, right? One to many here. And here one to many here also. One patient can treat number of one patient can go to number of doctors. This is also acting as a number of one to many only. So here patient is acting as a child and doctor is acting as a parent, right? And here doctor is acting as a child and patient is acting as a parent. That means many to many means we need to create a relationship between these two, doctor and the patient, which is not possible. Salesforce cannot allow parent to parent relation. Then how we are going to do this? So in order to create many to many relationships, right? So that means, see here, this is the doctor and this is the patient, right? This is the parent one, and this is the parent two. We need to create a relationship between these two, right? In between doctor and patient, we need to create a relationship between parent one and parent two. So one doctor can treat what we know here, patient one, we know that, and patient two and patient three. So this is acting as a one to many relationships. And here you can see the one patient can go to number of doctors D1, D2, D3, right? So in order to create relationship between these two, we need to create a child object which is known as a junction object. Junction object, right? It is a custom object we are going to create, junction object. So junction object is having a relationship with the doctor and junction object is having a relationship with patient. Right? It is acting as a custom object. Junction object is a custom object which we are going to create. Right? To create a relationship between parent 1 and parent 2, we can use junction object. A junction object is always a custom object and always should be a child object. Right? It does not require any tab also. Just a junction object which is hiding in the back end. So it is going to create a relationship between with doctor and relationship with the patient. So child to parent and child to parent here. So it does not require any tab here. Right? When D1 is the parent, through this junction object, patient becomes the child. Right? When P1 is the parent, when this patient is the parent, through this junction object, doctor will become the child. Got it? Then how many ways we are going to create these relationships? What are the ways in the Salesforce to create these types of relationships? This one to many, many to many relationships. What are the ways here? Right? So the first way is to create lookup relation. So lookup relation data type. So what is the data type we are having to create relationship between these two? So like one to many or many to many relationships in order to create this relationship. So Salesforce is providing to us different data types, right? The first data type is lookup relation data type. And the other one is master detail relationship data type. The other one is master detail relationship data type. Master detail relationship data type. Right? So we can create between standard and custom objects as well. So by using these data types, we can create relationships. So what is a relationship here? By using this feature, we can map the associations among the various objects, right? In between the doctor and the patient, accountant, the contact. So like this, we are going to create, we can map the associations among the various objects inside an organization. Right? So by how we are going to map means by using these two data types. So first of all, we need to identify what is the parent and what is the child here. So it is the step one. So what are the steps we are going to involve here? There are different steps we need to remember for every creation of these relationships inside the Salesforce. So the first step is identify the parent object and identify the child object. So I have just now I have identified doctor is the patient, parent, and patient is the child. Let me create here. Patient is the child. So identification of parent and child is completed. Step 1 is completed. Now we need to create a lookup relationship. Right? We need to create a lookup relation data type inside a child object, which is a patient. Now go to the Salesforce. Right? So this is the patient object, right? So patient object. So as of now, there are no fields here. I need to create a relation between doctor and the patient. Right? One doctor can treat number of patients. How? So go to this object, edit object, patient object. Now go to the fields and relationships. Right? Create a new one here. See, come down, lookup relationship. Okay, later on we can discuss this master detail also. So lookup relationship. Click on this lookup relationship. Click on next. Okay, now I have identified the parent and the child. In the child object, I am going to create a relationship with the parent object. Right? Lookup relationship provides one-to-many relationships between these objects. Between the doctor and the patient, it is going to create a one-to-many relationships. That means a parent record can be associated with one or more child records. Right? Let me create this. So with the doctor D. See here. Okay. Related to doctor. Click on next. Okay. So child relation name is parent. So I will explain you these options. Right. So if you want to make it as a required field, yes, you can make it as a required field. So what to do if the lookup record is deleted? Right. So you need to keep in mind here. So we need to clear that particular value of this field or don't allow the deletion. So I will explain you what is this. So click on next. I'm keeping this as it is, clear the value of this field. Okay. If I am going to delete the lookup record, so then what will happen? Click on next. So I'm making it as visible to all. Next, next, and save it. Okay. Now go to this patient object. Try to create one record here. So here we need to discuss few points. See, lookup is created. There is a one magnifier lens. So when you click on it, you can search doctors here. Right? So for this patient, patient number 1, patient. So now I am creating patient number 3. For this patient 3, who is the doctor treating him? So Raj, he is the doctor. Click on save. That's it. See here, patient 3 is treated by the doctor. So then I need to go to the doctor. So directly from here, patient record, I can redirect to the doctor's record also. Right? So from the patient, so by means of this lookup, I can travel to this doctor's record. So click on this doctor's record. See, now doctors, it will jump into the doctor's record. See, now doctor's record has been created. So already doctor's record is there. So now where I have to check. So for this Raj doctor, how many patients are there? So go to this related list. Go to this related list. See here, how many patients are there? Only one patient is there. If I need to add one another patient to this particular Raj doctor, so click on new. So one more patient is going to create. See, patient record. This is not the doctor's record. I am going to create a patient record from the doctor object. Right? From the doctor's object, I am going to create a patient record through this related list. Okay. Click on save button. See, patient 4 is created. See, one too many. Now you got it right. One too many. One doctor can have number of patients. One doctor can have number of patients. One doctor can treat number of patients. This is the way one to many is going to work here. Got it? So by means of this doctor's object, I am going to create here patients. Now what will happen if I am deleting this particular doctor's record. Right? So now you can see patients are already there. Patients 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 patients are there. If you go to this second patient, there is no value in it. If you go inside this patient too, there is no value in it. Okay, if you want to add any value, yes, you can select this. So by means of this edit button, yes, you can select one more doctor. Okay, so let me try to create one more doctor's record here. New, let me create Sai. Okay, save it. Okay. Now go to this particular patient. See, total 4 records are there. Already third patient and fourth patient are treated by Dr. Raj. Now patient 1 and patient 2 are there. Patient 1, I am going to add to Sai. See, Sai record is there. Now click on save button. That's it. Right? So directly I am jumping to the Sai's record here. See? Now go to the related list. Check. So patient 1 is added to here. Now I am going to add patient 2 also. So now I am going to add here patient 2. Now go to this patient record. Go to this patient 2. Add this dot. Okay. Now patient 1 and patient 2 are related to Dr. Sai. Okay. Patient 3 and patient 4 are related to Dr. Raj. Okay. Now let me try to delete one record from the doctor. What will happen? Right? So I am going to delete this particular Sai's record. Okay. Now click on this. So I am going to delete the parent. Right? I am going to delete the parent. For this parent, how many children are there? 2 child records are there. For this particular parent, 2 child records are there. So now I am trying to delete this. Delete. Delete. See what happened? Doctor's record deleted. Very good. So keep it, observation is very important here. So now the doctor's record, the parent record is deleted. Go to this patients. Still 4 records are there. Still 4 records are there. Okay. Now check for this patient 1. What happened? So the particular lookup value is clear. Right? When creating our lookup relation data type using lookup relation data type, there is a one checkbox, right? Clear this field when lookup value is deleted, when lookup parent field is deleted. Right? So I had deleted the parent record. I had deleted the parent record. So automatically whatever the value inside this particular field is clear. Right? Now check for the patient 2 also. See, it is clear. If we delete the parent record, the child records will not be affected. That means child records will not get deleted. Just the value inside this lookup field is getting clear. That's it. The record is not deleted. See, previously 4 records are there. Now also 4 records are there. Just the value inside it got clear. That's it. Right? What are your observations here? Right? The first observation is, even though both parent object and child object contains records, contains pre-existing records, we can create lookup relationship. Why I'm insisting these points is, these are quite opposite to the master detail relationships. When creating the master detail relationship data type, so these are quite opposite. So don't get confused. These are very important points when you're going for a Salesforce admin examination, or when you are attending any interview point of yours. They will ask this question: what is the difference between lookup relation and the master detail relation? Right? So for lookup, even though we are having records in child object and as well as in the parent object also. So previously Raj record is there. I have created Sai's record. So previously here 1, 2 records are there. Later I have created 3, 4 records. Right? Even though both parent object and child object contains the pre-existing records inside it, lookup relationship can be applicable. Right? This is the first major observation. And one more is, so if you go to this particular record, let me delete this record and save this. Yes, the record is saved. That means this particular field is not mandatory. So lookup field is an optional field, right? Lookup field is an optional field by default. By default, if you want to make it as a required, then you can make it. It is a letter. So if you want to make any field as a required field, while creating the field itself, you can make it as a required, right? Or else by default, the lookup field is an optional field. That is, while creating the child records, selecting the parent is not mandatory. See here, while creating any child records, right? So doctor is not mandated. The parent record is not mandatory. It is an optional field. See, patient 5 is created. And one more important point here is how many relationships we can create per object. So this is the major important question in the interview point of view. So an object can have a maximum of 40 lookup relationships, right? An object can have a maximum of 40 lookup relationships. And one more here is I want to tell you. So for example, here the doctor is there. Let me create one more doctor, one more record in the parent. Okay, save it. Now go to this parent patient, right? Let me try to add here Raj, save it. Okay. Now for this patient 4. So what is the parent record? Raj, right? So is reparenting is allowed in lookup relation? Yes. Reparenting means already the doctor Raj is assigned to this particular patient, patient 4, right? So let me reparent. So now I am removing this Raj record, adding this size record. Save it? Yes. Right? So reparenting is allowed in the lookup relation. It is also one of the important question. Is reparenting allowed? Yes. Right? And upon removing the parent record, only parent record will get removed from the parent object. Child records will exist as it is. That is what we observe. So from the doctor's record, I have removed this patient. So I have removed this parent record, right? I have removed this parent record. So whatever the records associated with that parent will not get affected. Just the value will get cleared. That's it. The records are as it is. It will clear the lookup field value by marking it as null. That's it. Okay. Got it? So in order to, so whenever any lookup field is required field. So whenever any lookup field is required field. So by default, it is not required. If, for suppose, if while creating the field itself, when I am making it as a required, then if the user tries to remove the parent record, right? Then if the user tries to remove the parent record, what will happen? We will check that also. So go to this edit object, go to this fields and relationship, go to this doctor, edit this and mark it as a required field. Okay, mark it as a required field. Save it. So what will happen? Okay, now go to this. Let's refresh the screen. See, total 5 records are there. Let me go to any one of the record. So as of now, the value is not there. Okay, let me try to add one record. So doctor's record. See, star mark is added. That means it is required field. Now, let me add this. So now doctor's record is added. Now try to delete. Now try to delete the parent record. So whatever the Raj record is, it is a parent record, right? So for this, go to how many childs are there? So 2 childs are there. Now patient number 3, patient number 4. So 2 child records are there. Now try to delete this. Now try to delete this. See, it will throw an error. See, your attempt to delete the Raj record could not be completed because it is associated with 2 patients. Previously, this error message is not coming. right? Now it is throwing an error message that it cannot be deleted. So then how? But still the user needs to be delete this. Then how? How we need to delete this? Right? Salesforce won't allow to remove the parent record from the object. Then what we need to do? We need to reparent them, right? Let me add this. Okay. We need to reparent that particular patients. So 3 and 4, right? So remove this Raj and mark it as I, save it. Okay, and go to this fourth record also. Remove this and mark it as I, save it. Now go to this doctor's parent record. Now you can delete. See, for the go to the related patients are 0. So no child records are there. Right? We need to reparent all the related child records to the other parent. Then we can remove the parent record from the object. This is the way we need to do this lookup relationships. Got it right? So in the next class, we are going to see master detail, the quite opposite to this lookup relation. So how we are going to create this master detail relationships? And what are the important points we need to remember while creating this master detail relationships? And what are the observations? What are the steps to follow creating master detail? And what are the observations we need to follow? We need to see, right? So what are the observations are there when creating this master detail relationships? That we can discuss in the next class. Okay. So keep following this channel for the latest updates. So in the weekends, we are going to I'm coming live. So if you are having any doubts, please mention in the comment section that we can discuss in the weekend. In the Saturday or Sunday, I'm coming on live. So keep following the channel for the latest updates. Okay. Thank you guys.